Good morning, and wait 1 second. Sorry, there's a problem here. Jesus. Just 1 second. Oh, Jesus. Sorry. 1,000 apologies. There's been a connection problem here with StreamYard and LinkedIn, and I'm just gonna connect it up, which needs me to sort out my password, and my password, the application for doing my password for some reason isn't working either. So, great. Okay, just 1 second. 1,000 apologies. Problems with doing things live as ever. Here we go. I now should be able to connect it all up. 1 second, permit. Okay, now it's connected and everything's good to go. So good morning and welcome to another of the investor matching sessions here from Buying Platform. Just before we jump into it and I bring on Fernando and Nityen, who will then talk through their theses, and then we'll start bringing on the startups, just to explain very quickly the whole process. So the way today will work is exactly that. I'll bring on Fernando and Nityen. They'll talk through their theses as funds, and then we bring on the startups, who have 4 minutes for the pitch and 5 minutes from questions from Fernando and Nityen. If for whatever somebody from the audience would like to ask a question, feel free to do so, and we'll put it up on screen, obviously giving priority to Fernando and Nityen's questions first of all. So, just next thing, just to explain very quickly, Bind, for those that don't know it, and these specific sessions that we're doing. So Bind is a open innovation acceleration program where a series of corporate partners pay for running pilots with deep tech startups. This is obviously really interesting for everybody involved. So from the corporate side, they get access to new innovations. From the startup side, they get to validate commercially and technologically their solutions, and these are paid pilots. So at the end of the day, they're customers that with luck everything works, and they can expand throughout then the customer's company. And obviously from an investor point of view, it's great because it's a deep tech companies where it's often quite difficult for investors to know with detail the exact commercial validation of the solutions. Well, obviously this gives a commercial and technological validation of the solutions. So what we're doing here is we're putting in touch investors that invest in deep tech startups of this kind with the startups that are currently doing their pilot programs, paid pilot programs, with the Buying Platform corporate partners. So without more ado, I will now bring on Fernando and Nityen, who I can see here in the background. Hi guys, thank you very much for joining us here today. So as I was just mentioning, I guess you'll have heard, if you could just talk through your theses so that people that are connected know more about you, and then we can jump into the pitches. If you'd like to start, Fernando, that you're up there in the top right hand corner.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you so much. Can you hear me well?
Can hear you perfectly.
Thank you. And by the way, hi Nityen, it's a pleasure to see you and to share this panel with you. So Inclimo is a climate tech investment impact fund based in Barcelona. We managed to raise 33.6 million back in 2023 May when we started investing. And our thesis is to invest looking for 20-25 companies in the phases of seed series A. As a first ticket, we tend to put between 500K to 1 million, 1.5 in companies that contribute to decarbonization in a generalist way. We're looking at 6 specific verticals: energy and utility tech, which will include energy, water, mobility, agrotech, food tech, circular economy. We have a vertical of proptech and the whole building management. And then from a transversal perspective, what we would call datatech and how technology contributes to sustainability as a whole. We have 60 LPs, 60 investors, 2 of them public, which represent 36% of our fund. And that's one is ICF from Catalonia, Spanish government, the other one. So we tend to invest between 75-80% in either in Spain or Spanish with a relevant Spanish market, and the other ones in Europe. It's a market we like a lot. We've invested already in Germany, Norway, UK, etc. And so far, we're starting now our 4th year investment period. We have made 18 investments approved. So we're on the last phase and looking for maybe more mature companies. And if we have been investing in seed Series A, we're trying to lead more towards a later stage of early Series A, mid Series A. I think that's all. I'm very happy to participate. Thank you, Tom, as always, to inviting Inclimo on these sessions.
Delighted to have you here. Nityen, all yours.
Thank you, Tom. Hello, Fernando. Nice to see you again. Not so much different from where Inclimo is. We are also climate focused, but we are much more in the industry segment. We're looking at manufacturing industry. We are seeking companies that are revenue generating and companies that have some market traction and sales pipeline. So we are much more interested in companies that are in the commercial phase, commercialization. Having said that, if you look at the IT companies and the type of companies that buy and attract, it doesn't take too much time for IT-driven companies to go from product to market, as opposed to, say, more complex technologies. We invest across Europe. We have a portfolio of about 30-40 companies. We've been around for 20 years, and we've done investments in Spain as well. So look forward to hearing the pitches.
Perfect. Well, thank you very much for that, both of you. So without more ado, I'll bring on Sergi and Sergi's screen. So Sergi, all yours. When you see me appear back on screen, it's the 4 minutes are up. I'll try, and if you haven't quite finished, I'll give you a little bit of time, and if not, I'll start cutting you off. Okay.
Fantastic.
Good luck.
Good morning, Fernando and Nityen. Today, I'm wanting to talk about 2 things: the European future, betting on critical infrastructure, and which challenges and solutions exist. So Europe is betting heavily on critical infrastructure, energy, defense, industry, but this infrastructure is being built by machines 30 to 40 years old and by the workforce which is retiring. I will give you an example of our beachhead market, which is a cable wire drawing and copper wire production. 83% of offshore wind-related financial losses and insurance claims are attributed to the power cable failures. Each failure takes 40 to 60 days of downtime and costs around 30 million. And Ailoys developing the brain of the retiring and new machines and substituting operators. We make machines self-aware, self-learning from the process, and self-drive, opening the angle of the dark factories. You can plug in our device. We developed the IoT device with Edge AI working on this. We can plug in any existing manufacturing equipment, and in 15 minutes, it's ready to run. We did a KPI across KPI collection across the verticals we are playing in. We reached 90% of the scrap reduction given to existing levels. We improve electricity consumption by 10%, and average per 1 manufacturing assets, we reduce CO2 emissions by 6.6 tons. And more important, I want you to concentrate on one number. It's 50x customer ROI. Our team have 120 years together accumulated industrial experience. We have engineers from Tesla, from Cisco, JetBrains, material science engineers, and machine learning experts. Our first beachhead market, which we built bottom up, and I'm talking about serviceable, addressable market, it's 1.2 billion in our first vertical only, which is wire drawing. But a part of the wire drawing in copper cable production, you can imagine that copper now on a high demands due to the data centers construction. We receive a pool from CNC machining for aerospace engineering, for tube manufacturing, and thanks to BINT, we are starting a pilot next week at Tubasex, the biggest Spanish tube producer for aerospace, and electronic beam welding, making only in this stage of the company 4 verticals with sum of 7 billions. In our competition, we like to compare ourselves with Hadrian. It's US-based dark factory startup, but they're building a greenfield installations. They're building from scratch autonomous factory, and their main customer defense. Ailoys can turn any existing installation into the dark factory running without the human. And in our pipeline, we already have LOI or commercial contracts signed for 840K IRR. Right now, we are actively deploying paid pilots, and we have paid pilots accommodating of 840K in ARR. And right now, we're raising 2.5 million seed round to convert tier 1 pilots into the paid commercial contract and scale OEM-led deployments across SMEs. We want to unlock 1.8 million ARR opportunity, which we are having currently in different stages in our pipeline. Thank you so much.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Sergi.
Sorry, Tom, can't hear you.
You can't hear me? Can nobody else hear me either? Okay, wait one second. Oh, Jesus.
We can hear you.
You can hear me?
Okay.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. Sergi can't. That's very odd. This happened to me the other day, that some people could hear and some people couldn't. Okay. I'm not quite sure what to do. I'll guys, Nityen, Fernando, I'm assuming Sergi can hear you too. Sergi, can you speak? And let's see if he can hear you too. Fernando, say something.
Hello? Sergi, can you hear me?
I can hear you, Fernando, and Nityen, but I can't hear Tom, unfortunately.
Okay, what I'll do then, this happened yesterday, really weird. I will restart I'll leave you guys for the 5 minutes. I'll restart my computer and see if that solves it all. And I'll be back in 5 minutes time. What I was going to say, I'm assuming that the audience can hear me because there was this problem at the beginning connecting up LinkedIn, people didn't hear. But we are very open to people sending in questions via LinkedIn. So if you do send them in via the chat, we'll put them on screen and we'll get Sergi to answer them. If he can't hear me, then I'll get Fernando to read them out to him and get them answered. I'll be back in 5 minutes, guys. I leave it to you to do the questions while I try and sort out this problem.
Excellent. Thank you, Tom. And Nityen, if it's okay with you, I'm happy to lead with some questions and then you can take over. To make it easier for you, Sergi, I have like 3 major questions that if it's okay, I will put them all together and you decide how to reply to them. First is related to IP. I was wondering, how is your technology protected, and given the idiosyncrasy of the sector, I mean, it's a sector with big players, to what degree do you think it's relevant to protect the added value you are providing? Secondly, related to impact, how do you measure the CO2 reductions of the added value that you provide, and if it's a quantifiable figure that you can rely on in a reporting recurrent basis? And the third and final one is the go-to-market. I mean, you have a very impressive pipeline. With kind of intuitively think it's a tough go-to-market with slow processes. How do you manage from a company perspective having access to them? It's a human base. Do you have support, and to what degree? How do you rely on ensuring this pipeline will have traction, and what kind of resources you would need to make it happen? Thank you.
Thank you, Fernando. So first question, it's patent pending. So we're applying for the first patent right now, and we are not in a hurry because the Basically, we're using special technology which is called acoustic emission. It's not microphone, it's not vibration. And this technology around on the market already from 1950s, but it's predominantly used for control of the bridges, structures, skyscrapers. But no one used this to control manufacturing process, which we are solving. And talking about sorry, what was the second question? You're muted.
Sorry, in relation to the CO2 emissions and how you quantify impact and the reductions that you claim.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So right now it's energy consumption only, what we basically can measure. And of course we can calculate it. We are measuring this on a recurring basis. So we're not operating kind of, the worker do less movements and emit less CO2. We just, what we can measure, what we can claim for sure and prove it with the numbers, that's what we're doing. We believe that you have an indirect savings, for example, when you reduce the scrap level, because scrap sometimes traveling to the customer and that's transported by the ships, like in Tube's example for TubeSX, and this could be cross-Atlantic. And then they bend the tube, it's have a cracks, then they ship back whole delivery. So that's even more impressive figure. But we're not there yet, and we want to just start with what we can calculate and what we can prove. And then coming to your question for go-to-market. It's indeed very specific and long sales cycle. So how are we doing this? First of all, it's starting with the founder-led approach. So we're finding, sorry for space effect. So we're finding the company who is the represent interest and match for our ideal customer profile. And basically they produce expensive material. They have producing big volumes, and industry is more or less known for us. I worked 16 years in aerospace engineering, for example, and then we do a first sale to the final customer. And then basically, as soon as they're satisfied with the pilot, we're saying, hey, now you can ask for this feature from your machine supplier. They calling OEM saying, hey, do you have this AI-based feature to run machine autonomous? They say, no, who told you this? And then OEM calling us, asking, who are you? And then we start discussion. And then we're proposing basically OEM, we're targeting them from the two perspectives. They are having a head of machine builder. They want to do predictive maintenance of their machinery, which we can do with our sensors. And say, hey, let's install. Now we're discussing two deals with a Chiron Group. It's a CNC producer in Germany, and Mario Frigerio in Italy. They produce wire drawing machines, saying, hey, introduce our IoT device in all of your new machines. And you are paying for 1 year of subscription where you receive this predictive maintenance data. And then meanwhile, we are approaching your customer with your sales team, providing them additional updates, upgrades of the process. And GTM, they have not only new machines, but they have a retrofit base. Like Chiron have 40,000 customers around the globe. Mario Frigerio have 13,000 customers around the globe. So that's our GTM. Thank you. Nityen, maybe you have any questions?
What's your business model with respect to make money in this? How much does these things cost? And do you have sales revenue, product revenue, service revenue? How does that work?
So right now we started, as soon as we're deploying pilots, industry, and we are not commodity, right? So we're bringing some new technology to the market, and industry need to go through the pilot. And if we'll start targeting enterprise licenses, discussing like how we deal with the hardware upfront cost and SaaS license, instead of this, we created a super simple subscription for the pilots. It's cost 1,000 euro per month with device rental and with a basic software subscription. And after the pilot, where we're targeting OpEx budget, customer don't need to make an investment decision yet. We're going to the pilot, and then when we build feasibility, discussing enterprise license. So basically it will be subscription. We want to keep ownership of the device. We want to lease it for €1. We receive a super sweet terms from our contract manufacturer. And then basically we're charging only for the software. Our payback period is less than 12 months, even with a paid pilot scheme.
And how much money you make per client now when you get started?
we just get started. We finished development of the MVP in October, and from February it starts being deployed. And right now we're making 5,000 monthly recurring revenue. We can't call it MRR because they're within a paid pilot, but basically that's MRR because they're paying every month. And we have a 71 device in the pipeline with assigned confirmations from the customers, and we keep building this. Now we receive, for example, the request from Lincoln Electric in States, the biggest building wire producer. They found us in internet on 12th of February. In middle of April, they flew to Düsseldorf to meet us in a wire and tube exhibition. And yesterday they qualified us as official supplier. So if the customer pull, 3 months. If when we were approaching first time in our life, it takes 12 months. Now it's taking 3 months in average.
All right, guys. Thank you very much. Sergi, can you now hear me?
Yes, now I can hear you.
Okay, perfect. Well, I don't know what that was. Very odd that two could hear and one couldn't. But anyway, thank you very much for the presentation. I'll now bring on Diego, who I asked him to share his screen. He's currently not got video running either. I'm assuming he's there. He is. Diego, if you could just start sharing your screen, and then I'll...
Let me see, share screen, allow...
And to make it smoother, if whoever's presenting GREENDEAL could start sharing their screen as well, then I can bring it on immediately when.
Yeah, okay. Are you seeing my screen right now?
Not yet.
Not yet. Yeah, the problem is I have let me see, share screen, or if you wanna move with the next one, and then
maybe I can. The person I can see here in the background is Adam from SpiralWave. Adam, if you're happy to go now, then I'll go with you. You good with that? I've thrown you in it. So
hi guys. Yeah, no problem.
Brilliant. Okay, if you could start sharing your screen, then we'll do it. I didn't really give you an option. It's like when you say, "Who's got a question?" You go, "You."
So share screen. There we go. Awesome.
I can see it. Perfect. I'll be back in 4 minutes. Okay. Good luck.
Sounds good. Thank you. All right. So we're pioneering the lowest cost carbon capture technology. And, you know, the problem is very clear, very tangible. The world still needs to remove 10 gigatons of CO2 per year by 2050. But with today's technology stack, there's not a clear path to achieve that. And carbon capture at its cost structure today of $150 to $300 per ton isn't cutting it. And there's a lot of structural problems with carbon capture. For example, like the business case, if you can bring down the cost low enough, then you have the policy side open up. But that's not enough to scale up to get to 10 gigaton per year, we believe, because if you look at technology that actually scaled up, they scale up when decarbonization happens as a byproduct. So if you look at batteries, like solar panels, like electric cars, decarbonization always comes as a byproduct. So there has to be a solid business case, which is why we're introducing dual value for carbon capture, and it's the most compelling value. So our innovation turns regeneration from an energy drain to an energy storage. So essentially, how it works is we have an air contactor that absorbs the CO2, captures it captures the CO2, and then the captured CO2 goes to our carbon sink battery, and the battery releases the CO2 and regenerates the CO2 and stores charge in the same process. So essentially, you get stored charge, and you get regenerated CO2. So throughout the day, you charge when the electricity price is low to release the CO2, and then you discharge the stored charge when the electricity price is high. So you can do energy arbitrage and remove CO2 from the same platform. So our technology comes in two configurations. One, the first one recycles that charge internally to power the batteries and the fan, the pumps, and keeps stays away from the energy arbitrage business. And the other one, it follows the grid. So charge when it's low and discharge when it's high. And it allows industrial companies to firm up their growing renewable assets while deep decarbonization for their legacy assets in parallel. And it allows them to open up 2 revenue streams and gain competitive advantage from energy arbitrage and lower carbon products. So our technology is designed for scale. We can vertically stack up these modules, and we achieve megaton scale in less than an acre, because we can keep just going vertically upward with these modules. So yeah, why now? There's a lot of things converging that makes carbon capture viable. The 45Q tax credit, EU compliance urgency, and from a battery perspective, in mature markets like the UK, California, Texas, the battery, the electricity spread is very low. It's tightening, and this offers another revenue stream that offsets the cost of the battery. And there's a first mover window that can establish the narrative for the future of how low carbon capture can cost. So we're targeting $30 per ton for the first module that recycles the energy internally, and $66 per ton for the capex only for the carbon sink battery. Our facility is operational. It's based out of Austria. We have a 5,400 square foot lab on 550 square meter lab. And we have full capabilities to advance technology development, to operate the pilot, and hire a full team to work on different R&D parts of the project. Our team combines business, technical, and scale-up expertise. We have Ram Chinoy, the former CTO of ConocoPhillips, as an advisor. And we're currently raising $5 million for a seed round. Thank you for your time.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Adam. Fernando, Nityen, all yours. Fernando, if you'd like to start like last time, and then we move on. I'll be back in 5 minutes.
Okay. Nityen, as I started before, do you want to go ahead in this one?
No, sure thing. So, Adam, you did the whole presentation, but I don't understand. What is your technology? What is the price per ton? And if there's CapEx, what's the CapEx?
So the technology it's a new, electrochemical platform. Other electrochemical platforms, they, expend energy for regeneration. Ours stores the energy. So it recovers the energy and stores it as a charge.
Where do you use it? Is it air capture or point capture?
It works with both. We can do direct air capture. We can do flue gas across the full concentration spectrum. And we actually bridge the cost gap between direct air capture and flue gas capture. So it depends on what the customer asks. Currently, we're talking with flue gas capture customers, and mostly flue gas capture customers, because that's the current state of the industry. But our technology works as well with direct air capture because of our novel air contactor.
What's the price?
So the price per ton for the unit that recycles the energy internally is $30 per ton. That's the price. We have a 60% margin on that, or 65% around plus margin on that, profit margin. And the price of the module that, discharges the energy back to the grid, that, increases the value. So you have carbon capture, you have the energy part. So that one is at $66 per ton. We're offering it. And the margin is the same, 65% plus.
And what's the payback period?
It depends on for the customer. It depends on their market dynamics, like their electricity price, the energy arbitrage spread. There's a lot of variable units that come in.
Okay. Now, and do you have a customer? Have you tested it out, or is it more in the labs right now?
We're currently validating it through Bind, and we have a large industrial partner that's working on validating this with us, and we're doing a 1,000-hour validation test, expected to be completed in around July. So we're starting the validation, and we have a dashboard ready, to be, shared with investors and with customers that are interested.
And what are you going to use the money for?
We're going to use the money for scaling up the technology to achieve a 1,000 ton per year pilot unit. And then that's the main purpose. It's to scale up the team, the technology, to achieve the first commercial scale pilot.
And how much was that 1,000 ton per year thing cost?
So
somebody has to buy a capex, right, or no?
So I don't have the number out of my head. It's like in the TEA, but we're injecting 40% of the $5 million into R&D and developing that pilot. But the core BOM, we have a TEA. I don't have the final price.
Okay, or you're working it out. Thanks.
On my head.
Yeah, thank you, Adam. From our side, if you can describe a little, I understand you are like on piloting phase, pre-revenue, trying to arrange the setup and the launch. So what would be the major key milestones in the next 12 to 24 months? You were saying you're going to increase also in personnel with HR, creating a team, the plan. So basically, what is going to be your rollout in terms of consolidated pilots, and at which point do you think from those milestones you will start monetizing with clients? And how do you see the rollout in on the next phases for a real monetization process on commercial side?
So we're scaling up in 2 phases.
I understand. I'm not sure if this applies, but is this applicable to the TRL also on a phases, and which TRL then would you be on?
So there's 2 phases that we scale across. There's the pre-commercial phase, which is proof of concepts, pilots, early pilots, and that's the phase we're at. And then there's the commercialization phase, and the seed round is to bridge those 2 phases to take us from the proof of concept pilot phase to the commercialization phase. For the proof of concept phase, we're validating a 1 ton or a 2 ton per year module with a client through Bind, and there's other. So we're validating a direct air capture configuration. Other customers want for flue gas, low concentration CO2, and they also start with like a small proof of concept validation, and then the next stage is to scale up with those customers after validating that first proof of concept to a pilot, like a 200 to 1,000 ton per year pilot, and then throughout that time we develop the manufacturing expertise, we finalize the product. Product's design, and we build the foundation for scaling up to gigaton scale.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Adam, and thank you for helping us out by me bringing you in unawares.
No worries. Thank you guys for your time. Thank you, Tom. And
thanks a lot, Adam. Okay, Diego, now I can see his screen and his video. So Diego, all yours in a second. There you go. Okay, all yours. Oh, he's gone. Wait a sec. He's back. Diego, all yours. I'll be back in 4 minutes' time. Okay, good luck.
Okay, thank you. So, hello everyone. My name is Diego Tuccillo. We are Deduce Data.
You have to speak louder, Diego.
We cannot hear you very well.
Okay. I'm Diego Tuccillo. We are Deduce Data Solutions.
Maybe you have to increase it. Not good.
Is it okay?
No.
No?
I've just increased your mic volume. Try again.
Okay. Hello?
No, increase it there. Just down there.
Okay. Hello? Is it better now?
It's a bit better. It's not the great, but we can work with it.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Fernando?
Yeah, still gonna work great.
Sorry, I'll try to
speak loud.
Okay, so we are a spin-off of the university. We are
No, we lost you. We lost you.
Yeah, you're lost. Oh. Can you speak?
Yes. You still can't hear me.
guys.
We can hear now.
Yeah? Yes? You can hear me now? Okay. I keep going then.
Yes, please.
We are a spin-off of the university. The founders, we were researchers or ex-researchers of the university, focused on machine learning applied in fundamental physics. We founded Deduce Data Solutions in 2000, at the end of 2020. We are now a team of 16 people, mainly technical. We have worked with Nissan, Seat, Siemens, mainly on energy projects. Now we have developed, we are now focused, we have developed a method, a system that is ours, and we are focused on systems in thermal processes where the industry spend a lot of energy, and most of them can be, well, 30% of them is estimated that could be reduced because it's due to inefficiencies and safety margins. So okay, no, this is okay, sorry, I'm sorry guys, maybe I can't really share the screen.
Diego, can we just ask you questions?
Yeah.
Let's go for questions. Good move, Nityen.
Okay, I can try again.
No, forget the presentation. We don't get too much out of it. So explain me, who is your customer? And there's an echo there. Maybe you can turn off that.
Okay, let me try again.
Who's your customer and what do you do for them?
It's industries with thermal processes like furnaces and with melting, where they have like melting problems to optimize the formula of irons or metallic leagues. So we support them with a digital twin that model the system and helps them with the decision making on how to use the machine or how much of each substance they have to input in the formula.
And is it a product or is it a consulting service?
Is a product.
It's a product, but you still have to implement it, and it takes a long time to implement it, right?
Not really.
How much time it takes to implement it?
We can implement it in a couple of months.
And does every customer have the same problem that you're addressing, or they need new systems different times?
We have applied it to 2 customers, and now we are in the phase of searching for other clients that have the same problem, and to evaluate how the distance between among the system where we already applied the system and their system. But we consider that there is a huge market.
And how much money you make now, and what's your plan this year?
Now we do enough money to pay the 16 salaries, and but we are working as a consulting, so we are working as a project. Now for each project we charge, depending on the project, between 30,000 and 70,000. But we don't want to keep with this model. We want to charge them a very few less money to start the project. Then we want, because we are saving a lot of money, a lot of energy in the 2 projects that we implemented, we want to take part of this saving as payment for the first year, and starting from the second year, having like a SaaS, software as a service, to maintain it.
Okay. I don't have any questions. Thanks.
You're muted, Fernando.
sorry. I had similar doubts concerning your income-driven approach. To what point is recurrent and to what point is project-based? How are you planning to do the shift? You mentioned 60 people. How are they being engaged on this project-based implementation? And if you are in a certification process, how will that change? You are going to need different skills, different people. Are you going to do like a HR transition, or you are pivoting with the same team?
I am pivoting the same team, but we are searching for money because we need to invest in the development in the standardization of the project of the product. So we already have inside our team all the skills needed to do this transition, but we are using part of the team to produce the money in projects to then finance the development of the product. So yeah, this is why we are searching for fundings. And the transition we want to do is increase the number of clients where we have deployed this product, and so in this way taking one part from each project in order that is more universal as possible, because now you're right, and we need a couple of months to adapt the product to the client, but the idea is to reduce as much as possible this part and eventually arrive to something that could be sold to someone else, not from us. Thanks.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Diego. A few technical
and I'm deeply sorry for the problems.
No problem whatsoever. We'll jump on to Benjamin, who was sharing his screen and suddenly he's not. I don't know why. I did ask him to. Benjamin, are you there, or have you disappeared off?
Yes, I'm here, but I don't know why I can't share my.
It was shared until about a minute ago, and then suddenly it stopped.
Oh.
Isn't it amazing how bad things always come in threes or fives? You know, there's one technical problem, there's 15 technical problems. And we're all in different places as well. It's not like we're using the same network or the same computer or.
I think I have to rejoin the session because I can share.
What I'll do, Maria, if you're happy to go, because I can see you here and you were here from the very beginning, I'll bring you on. If you can start sharing your screen, and we'll jump to you. Oh, now she's disappeared. Oh my God, I'm sorry for this. It's amazing. She's been connected for 45 minutes, and just when she loses the connection. Okay, let's see. Neither she or Benjamin. She's back. Okay, here we go.
I don't know why, but
I don't know why. But if you could just start sharing your screen, then we could. Oh, she's gone again. She can't share her screen for some reason. Obviously, every time she tries, it goes wrong. And she's used this platform before, so I don't quite know.
Tom, maybe in the interest of time, what I could propose is they do elevator pitch and send us a presentation. I mean, most of the time we know which companies we like to talk to further anyway. So, and then we can follow up, right? Fernando, what do you think?
Yep.
So let them do like 5-minute elevator. That's good enough.
Yeah. Okay. I'll wait for that. Right now, both Benjamin and Maria have disappeared. I'll get Maria on. So Maria, for some reason,
the portal is, but I try to share, and when I click sharing, the application disappears.
Okay, don't worry about it. What we'll do,
but I can.
But Maria, don't worry about. Oh God, I was going to say we'll do it without the presentation, but she's disappeared. And Benjamin's, here we go.
It's important.
Maria, don't worry about it. Do it without the presentation. What we're going to do, yeah, do it without the presentation. And what we're going to do, we're not going to do Q&A right now because of the technical issues. You do the presentation. Fernando and then Nityen know, and then if they're interested in speaking more, we'll connect you via email and do it offline. So just the presentation.
Much better. So
all yours.
Morning.
I'll give you 5 minutes for the presentations. You go into a little bit more detail. Okay.
Okay, Tom. Well, good morning. My name is Maria. I am the CEO of PHOTOKRETE. And as you know, PHOTOKRETE is a deep tech in the construction sector that has developed the first mortar capable of reducing surface temperature by more than 30 degrees and generating a cooling effect in cities up to 12 degrees during heat waves. Nowadays, our solution is the only known solution to mitigate urban heat island effects in cities, at least a scalable solution. The PHOTOKRETE advantages are mainly four. First of that advantages are a remarkable, enormous potential to reduce energy consumption in air conditioning in cities, more than 70% of saving in buildings, of course, depending on climate zone. This is a huge impact, reducing carbon and greenhouse gases. And as I told you before, we have a great potential to mitigate urban heat island effect in cities. And what the most important thing for industry is that PHOTOKRETE doesn't require any investment in cement for cement sector. The production process is very simple. We use commercial and cheap raw materials, so the technology is ready to be used in the market. Well, the origin of the technology is an Horizon 2020 Pathfinder with an EIC, the Inclimo, and now we are in a spin-off from the Spanish Research Council and the Public University of Navarre and Basque country. We have 3 patents licensed, and the market, our market is very huge because we are cement, and nowadays the sustainable building materials market is expected to be double during the next 5 years. And the most interesting thing of the market is our niche. We are in the special mortar niche, that it's a very interesting niche because the price margin is 35-50% in pre-scaled phases. That it's our phase now. The competition position of PHOTOKRETE is very good because we have a very good performance both in durability and high cooling, but in competitive price too. And the versatility of PHOTOKRETE is very interesting because we are present in building and urban landscape. Of course, our verticals are a lot in building and urban landscape. Our first market entry is focused in rehabilitation, but of course, we are present in new residential, office buildings, urban furniture, public facilities, but in industrial construction too, with agriculture assessments, logistic centers, data centers, and base of photovoltaics too. The team is mixed, scientists and business performance. And nowadays we are working with several partners. We have an industrial partner that is in PHOTOKRETE, and we are working with the first player in a plaster mortar that is named Baumi to develop a mortar with them. And nowadays we are working too with EICA in Bind and combining their isolation panels with the technology of PHOTOKRETE. And our first product is a facing brick with the third partner from Catalonia that is named Branco. So our plan during the summer is start with 4 or 5 demonstrators in Vienna, in Canary Island, in Barcelona, and in Bilbao and San Sebastian. So, well, the team and the project is growing now. We are now 13 people in PHOTOKRETE, and of course, we aspire to make a real change in the construction sector and to be a solution for the climate crisis we are facing in our cities. And well, no more. I'm sorry with the digital poltergeist, but well, okay.
No problems whatsoever, Maria. Thank you very much.
Because my camera is all the time.
Yeah, well, it's jumping around as well. It's not just the digital side of things that goes wrong sometimes. Thank you very much, and we'll jump from you then to Benjamin to present GREENDEAL. And Benjamin, same. We'll give you 5 minutes, and then we'll call it a day. So we'll finish just before the hour. So all yours.
Thank you. Can you hear me well?
Can hear you fine.
Thank you. Well, I'm Benjamin Osco. I'm CEO of GREENDEAL. We turn electronic waste plastic into boards. Well, every year we throw away millions of tons of phones, computers, and television. And this is that we call electronic waste or e-waste. The plastic inside is very difficult to recycle. Just Spain generates 970,000 tons of e-waste. It's like 185 stadiums in volume full of trash. And worldwide is 62 millions of tons, 6,000 stadiums in volume. Most of this waste is burned in open fields. It's toxic, it's dangerous, and it's growing every year. We create GREENDEAL to solve this problem. We take all of this kind of plastic and give them a second life. We transform this plastic into boards, flats, panels, and that you can use in construction, furniture, and design. We call it the GREENDEAL board. Our board can be shaped, can be cut, and used in many ways, like the photos, signs, desks, furniture, buildings, panel, and more. We have 2 ways to earn money. First, we sell our boards direct to company. Second, we offer a service. We help companies to transform this own plastic waste into products that we call that as circular as a service. Our partners include Composite, Martí Artut, Thankful of Bind, and Gayur Carpinteria. The global construction panel market is worth 300,000 million euros. Europe alone is 139,000 million euros. And this is a very large market with a growing for sustainable materials. Our board is waterproof, wear resistant, has an acoustic and thermal insulation. We sell it $120 with a gross margin of 73%. We are 3 mechanical engineers from PUC, one of the top universities in Peru. I'm a CEO. I'm a material research. Ayrton is a mechanical engineer too, and he is a design engineer. And Jesus is our CCO and manage operation and marketing. We already work with major companies in Peru, banks, university, and technologies companies. These years, we are expanding in Spain. We complete a big accelerator with Dominion. We are part of the Vine accelerator in the Basque country. And we have support of ISEX, Madrid Innovation, and the Expo City Dubai. We secure $100,000 in grants this year. The future doesn't have to look like this. We can change it. GREENDEAL turns the waste of the digital era into new materials of the city of future. Thank you. We are looking for partners and investors to grow GREENDEAL in Europe.
Benjamin, thank you very much. Well, as then agreed, we'll let you go. that's it for the day because RueData wasn't able to connect. So Nityen, Fernando, thank you very much for connecting up. Do let me know if you'd like us to put you in contact with any of the founders. And my apologies for the technical problems that started in minute 1 and have continued right to the end. But someday these things happen, right?
Yeah, I think the one that somewhat fits and could be interesting is that the carbon capture one is probably more interesting for us. And if you can help us connect, we can have our analysts have a detailed talk on that, better understand
Brilliant.
it.
I will too.
The rest of them were not very much connected to what we do, so I'll leave it to you.
Perfect. Okay, guys. Well, thank you very much, Fernando. I'll drop you a line later on. Have a great weekend. Yeah, perfect.
Thank you.
At some point, I will call you to catch up. Okay.
Brilliant. Please do.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye.
Bye, guys.